is the sharing of the very initial sharings of your stories, and now we'd like to have questions from you guys because I know that a lot of you may want to know what are the other problems that they have, and if you want to ask them whether at this moment your startup should do it on your own or start raising funds, then maybe you can raise the questions to them. Yeah, please. Lady in the red hair.
Well, hello. Thank you for giving me the chance to give a question to the speakers. I would like to have a question to Mr. Josh Lee. Yes, I have a chance to talk with you since before these seminars began. So now I thought that we have the same stage, a little bit introduction, because now I'm working at the Intech training at the same stage with you. And I myself also have that inspired in the education. So I want to ask you about what is the motivation to keep you have the startup idea in Vietnam, and why you choose the education, how the way you transfer that your inspired to the founder investor. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. So I think that most people here, all the founder experience, know how challenging it can be to build a company. So I think the question you have to ask yourself is this something I can do for 5, 10, 15 years? How will I feel? For education, that was the first time I felt that way. I'm sure Don feels the same way too, but it's the first time I was able to think that my job was very important. So every day, as hard as it can be, I have the kind of privilege of being around people who appreciate what I do. So that was a big thing for me. And I'd come from Silicon Valley where I'd worked at very exciting, amazing startups, and I'm really grateful for all those experiences. But for me, doing something that was appreciated, maybe it's a little bit selfish, was really important for me. And specifically within Vietnam, and I think Don can talk about this a lot, I was very surprised by actually education being such a great field to be in. I think people are very appreciative of what we do and very eager for learning. And so when people ask me why I started Coder School, I have to say it really wasn't my idea. The way that the Story Coder School got started was just an online forum which we posted on a Facebook group that had 200 responses in the first week. So I say that there's actually 200 other co-founders of Coder School that helped us get started.
Do you want to add something to? You're also a startup in education, that's why.
Yeah, I think for us, there's also a personal reason as well. And so I was very lucky to go to a great university. So I went to Stanford. My partner Tony also went to Stanford as well. And to be honest with you, we just feel like we were lucky. And so we had this amazing education experience. And so for us coming back here, though, it was, when I first came back here, it was just because I was trying to build a career for myself. But over time, as I spent more and more time here, and I think to Charles's point, I found that actually people here are really, really hungry, and it's particularly for education. And so, we actually started out teaching for free. So Tony and I borrowed a small classroom, and we taught 12 students for free. And that's how we got started. And parents came in, and they actually really, really enjoyed it. Because we just wanted to do something. Tony and I had started a nonprofit prior to that called SEO Vietnam, which is now the largest internship program in Vietnam. But so for both of us, it was always something that had been something that we were very passionate about, and we were able to take that and actually turn it into a company. So it was something that I think we both had a personal interest, and people were hungry for it, and so we said, okay, you know what, we can actually do something with this. And one small thing led to another, and then eventually it got bigger and bigger.
So share my view, because I want to take credit because I just invested in an education company.
Yay!
It's called MyX. It's also teach kids how to code, not competing against you.
Editor.
And we also teach kids the new, we call it the new skill sets of the new world. So this is how we view education. So let's say 15,000 years ago, we lived by hunting. So the skill set we need at that time was to run very fast, because we need to caught the animal, right? And then I think about 10,000 years ago, we moved to farming. So the skill set actually changed a lot, because we learned how to grow trees, how to do farming. And for the modern world, people talk a lot about services. So we learned how to, do services, how to work in hospital, how to work in hotel, how to entertain people, right? How to play good soccer. So we have a soccer match tonight. Go Vietnam.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is what I actually see. So people always talk about robots taking over human. So what's the best way for us to prepare ourselves? We need to upgrade ourselves, right? So I think 20 years ago, a lot of Vietnamese parents send their kid to English school, out school program to study English. So English is considered as a universal language. I'm a little bit biased, but I think the next universal language would be programming, coding, robotic, and for girls, right? As a young female founders myself, I really learned how to design. I really learned, I love to learn how to build great social media profiles. Now the new skill set may be, how to be a YouTuber, right? How to do TikTok. So that can make you a lot of money. So we want to teach those kind of skills to the young generations. And the mission is that I look at markets like India. So all the top CEOs of Google, Microsoft, they're Indian, from India. So I question that myself too. So how can we be like that? So I think early education is very important, and I want to bridge that gap as well. So that's why we want to contribute as a private sector to build up the next generation of tech talents in Vietnam.
That is great. And you may also look into curry. They eat a lot of curry, they drink a lot of chai. So maybe that's the secret, I'm telling you, right?